Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with the G87, here for another video, more mods going on. This time is more some refinement touches that I wanted to add for drivability. This is my daily. I've been driving it every day and I still have some things I want to change. The brake dust is killing me, so we're going to put a set of our PSI brake pads on. We have a really cool short shifter from Rogue Engineering. We're going to install some different Titan 7 wheels. We have some black wheels here, which we removed the first time, but we're actually going to show the weight improvements when you go with the Titan 7. We're going to put some studs on the car. We also have some black reflectors for the rear because those are really bothering me with the exclamation point, as everyone's pointed out on the forums. First thing we're going to do is we're going to weigh the wheels. I mentioned in the first video that the stock M2 G87 wheels are cast from BMW to try to save some money. You're going to see now that they also added a ton of weight. We're going to compare them with a set of 20-inch Titan 7 TS5s. We're going up in the front 1 inch to a 20. So let's go check out the weight difference in the OE G87 cast wheels versus the Titan 7 forged. All right, so we're going to start off by weighing the front wheel from the M2. So we just dismounted the tire to try to get just a wheel weight. Yeah, so it's 27.8 pounds, definitely on the heavier side, especially for a 19. To the Titan 7. This is 22.8, and this is a 20-inch wheel. The OEM is a 19 by 9.5. This is a 20 by 9.5, and this is 5 pounds lighter, just the wheel. That's a big difference over OEM, especially for unsprung weight. A lot of people complain about the weights for the M2s. This is definitely an improvement. Let me do the rear now. Yeah, so it's 30.4 pounds. Again, cast wheel on the heavier side. Okay, so this is 23.6 pounds, about 7 pounds different, 6.8 pounds. Just that alone is saving about 11 pounds per side on the car. So 22-pound different throughout the unsprung weight of the car. We did the black because the blacks are a little bit different offset. So the original wheels that we put on the car were our test wheels for the G80. They had a really non-aggressive offset. I think they're close to the F90 M5 offsets, so we had to run pretty good spacers on those. These actually require no spacers in the rear and a small spacer in the front to make it kind of what we want it to be. But I know Titan 7 is making some different offsets that are going to be really specific for this car with no spacers and stuff, so we'll see that in the future. We're already at 22 pounds weight reduction. That's a lot of unsprung weight that we've lost. So now we're going to talk about the style of the wheel. So this is a gloss black wheel, same as OE, but we wanted to show an aftermarket black wheel look, which a lot of people like black wheels. I said in the other video, you know, I'm not a fan of black wheels because you just can't see the detail that you can with a lighter color wheel, which is why we did the lighter ones first. So now we're going to do the same design, but a gloss black, and this is actually called Wicked Black. It's a really deep gloss black, super nice wheel. So we're going to put these on and we're going to see how it looks comparison wise with gloss black versus my special silver that I powder coated the other wheels. Make sure you guys comment which one you like. We're trying to show all the options that are out there for people when you guys get your G87. Okay, so another thing we're correcting this round is the unimaginable amount of brake dust that this car makes. Wash the wheels, drive the car, 5 minutes, all the wheels are covered with brake dust. So back a few months earlier, I was working on a set of pads out of Japan that are semi-metallic that improve the performance and the feel and the control of the OEM brakes, but they also lessen the dust. So this has a significant dust decrease, probably 50% less dust. It's about 25% more performance. And when you pair this with the PSI brake lines, you get better pedal feel, better modulation, because this has that electronic component to the adjustment of the pedal and the brake feel. So right now, Peyton's actually doing the front pads on the caliper, and look at the pad surface on these. So one of the things on these cars is there's not BBKs for the G80s for the steel rotors, and that's because there's already a huge pad surface. Like if we actually took a BBK from an E92 or F80 and put it on this car, it would actually be a downgrade for the pad profile and for the surface area that these pads take up. So this is a stock, this is the same exact pad, size-wise and shape-wise as factory, but this is the PSI compound. So we're gonna swap these out in the front. When you do these, you actually change the hardware. So there's, I think, is there nuts or bolts on this, Peyton?
It's nuts with studs coming off the knuckles.
So this is nuts, and then the rear is bolts. So those get replaced when you do any type of pad changes on the G-Series cars. We're gonna finish this up in the front and rear, then we'll get the wheels on and the studs and keep going. Now we're putting in the wheel studs, and these are from MOTORSPORT hardware. They have a bunch of hardware for BMW, pretty focused on BMW racing. I normally put these on most of the cars because I like to switch the wheels. As I mentioned, there's like multiple sets of wheels that I have for this car, but they also add to the look and the MOTORSPORT look of the car, but it's really important that they're installed right. You need to put blue Loctite, thread it in by hand, and then these are actually torqued individually to 25 foot-pounds. He's grabbing the torque wrench now. We're gonna get him torqued down. And we use the Loctite blue because it's not as aggressive as red, so we can actually go back to stock very simple. Normally, OEM uses a bolt. We're replacing it with a stud that's longer. For changes on the track, it helps you set a wheel here. It helps you line up the wheel quicker so you can do a wheel change faster. And for us, when we have all these wheels that we're testing, all the different sizes, it's easy for us to easily switch the wheels anywhere we are without having to have a crazy wheel pin or fumble around with the OEM bolt. To pair with the wheels, Titan 7 sent us the race lug nuts, which are actually forged titanium. So anytime you do the stud conversion, you actually need a set of lug nuts to be able to put the wheels on now. So these are actually forged titanium. They're super light and they match well with these wheels because it matches the detail in the Titan 7 logo and in the forged. So we're gonna get these on. Should need to be torqued to a certain spec as well. Peyton's gonna finish these up and get this on and we'll get the car on the ground. All right, so now the car's on the ground. Now I'm gonna go drive the car tonight. Tomorrow we'll be back. We're gonna be doing the short shift kit and then the black reflectors. So on to tomorrow. All right, so Peyton finished up installing the Rogue Engineering short shift kit. We're gonna take you guys through the gears and show you how much shorter it is, and it really increases the feel of the shifter. It's a touch point on the car, so it's definitely something you don't wanna miss if you have a manual G80. We also installed the rear reflector delete, gets rid of the exclamation points in the back, which is a huge deal. It like makes the back look so much better. It's definitely something that we were missing on the car. And then the final piece of the puzzle is the CSF Heat Exchanger. And you guys will remember we actually did this on both of our G80 projects, the manual project and the auto project. And this is actually plug and play for the M2. So there's no modification required to get this in. And it's cool because since it's the same as M3 and 4, these are already in stock on the shelves ready to ship. So we have them in stock here. CSF has them in stock, and I'm sure local dealers have them in stock as well. So we're gonna get this in. We gotta take the bumper off. We're gonna slide it in to the clamshell. Because we live in Florida, and I think it's like 96 degrees right now, this is gonna increase the recovery time for the cooling system on the motor. It actually allows you to get on the car more and more and more with less heat soak. Later on, we will be doing the CNC manifold as well that you guys saw on our Santorini project, along when we start making the larger upgrades to this car with some pure turbos and some other stuff in the future. So stay tuned for that. It's a super nice piece. It's all CNC. There's no more plastic in tanks. And then another feature that I'll show you guys is that this has the protection for a manual car, because on an automatic G8X, there's a transmission cooler that sits at the bottom. When you get this radiator, it comes with this additional grate that goes on the bottom to complete the protection for the heat exchanger. Peyton was able to get everything wrapped up, the car's back together and back on the ground. And one of the last things I wanted to point out about the CSF heat exchanger is just the overall size comparison based on the stock heat exchanger. So that allows for a lot more volume of fluid. It allows for quicker recoveries on quick pulls, like back-to-back-to-back pulls at the track, back-to-back pulls when you guys are doing 60 to 130. So it's a really crucial element to this car. Because it has a water-to-air intercooler system on this with the manifold, it's a really crucial part to really having consistent power with the S58. This was really a refinement of the M2 build that we've been working on. To recap everything, we went ahead and put on the new TS5s from Titan 7. They sent us their titanium race nuts. I have MOTORSPORT hardware extended studs on the car, PSI brake pads, which are focused on reducing dust and increasing performance. We also did something that you touch all the time, which is the short shifter in these cars from Rogue Engineering. Another aesthetic piece to the puzzle that we were unable to do when we did the first part of the process, which was the rear reflectors. It gets rid of those stupid exclamation points on the back bumper, so that's knocked out. And then finally, the CSF heat exchanger, which just got completed. So if you guys are interested in any of the parts we've installed on our Project M2, you can give us a call, go to the website, precisionsport.com, or we're gonna put links in the description so you guys can click right to the part and buy it. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We do have some more plans for the M2 later on down the road, but now we're gonna break it up with some BMW Classic content. So make sure you guys comment in the video, let us know what you wanna see next for the M2, let us know what you wanna see next for content, and make sure you like and subscribe.